What's up, degenerates? Mad Merrigan here for 𝗀𝗵𝗵𝗆 Sports, and once again I'm joining our good old friend. He was in Wembley for us the other night. I hope he's dried out since after England's great win. Nigel, I suppose it's as simple as in and then there was it. How are you looking? Are you still confident? Great to get the victory. Sterling kicking it off and really finishing off strong to get the 2-0 win.
Yeah, it was a fantastic day. I've still lost my voice, Paddy. I've still lost my voice a little bit. So, yeah, the scary thing for England, people who are, who are watching this tournament, is England really haven't got out first gear yet. They haven't conceded a goal. And I think that's quite a scary factor. He hasn't really stumbled across a team that, they haven't really gone all out attacking yet in one game. I think that will come. So it's looking good. It's slightly worrying, really, for me, because with the semi-final, we could play Denmark. I've got quite a decent bet on Denmark, and I've got a real difficult cheer. And in the final, we've got Spain. So if Spain get that far, obviously. So yeah, it's going to be a question of me thinking about my money on my heart. So it's going to be a very difficult one if we get that far. But yeah, it was a great day. What I can remember of it, the game was brilliant, but the after bit, was crazy. Singing in the ground after, as you can say, I've done a bit of Sweet Caroline and I've done a bit of Football's Coming Home and I've lost my voice.
Yeah, no, the atmosphere, in fairness, looked good. I also seen clips of people all over the country celebrating. So, look, it's getting closer and it's getting a lot more realistic now for England. They look as strong as ever, and although a slow start in the game, finished out really strong. Right, let's leave that behind, or let's just talk on the disappointment of France. What a shock that was, before we move on, about them leaving the tournament. Yes, albeit in the way nobody wants to go out.
No, incredible, really. I mean, there were 3-1 up, absolutely cruising. 1.01 on Betfair to qualify.
Yeah.
Look, the absolute good thing, but complacency. They took the foot off the gas, thought they had already done it, and then they're in the penalty shootout. And the bad thing was that they'd taken both their penalty takers off. So Griezmann and Benzema weren't even there to take the penalty. I don't agree with letting Mbappe go last. I think you put your best players out first when the pressure's not on them, really. So I think it's a lot to put on the shoulders of a young man, and he couldn't handle the pressure. But yeah, big shock. But it's opened it up now, especially for England in that section. I think it's there for the taking for them to get to the final.
Yeah, right. As we move on, so can Switzerland dig it into Spain and put them out? Like, how is it looking? Maybe unrealistic, but the way this tournament is going so far, anything is possible.
Yeah, anything's happening. You're coming into knockout football. So usually when you bet odds-on favourites in these kind of football matches, you're going to go wrong. If you bet every odds-on favourite in these last 4 games, you've got to get 3 of them win in 90 minutes for you to collect. So that's not going to happen. There's going to be shocks. There's going to be penalties. There's going to be matches where they're going to go a long way. Switzerland would have no fear, but my only problem is that they've probably risen to the occasion, peaked a little bit too soon. I mean, I don't know if it's the same thing as happened in racing, but in tennis, for example, is another thought I swallow. If somebody beats Roger Federer or he beats Nadal, the next match he plays against the British number 3 and he on court numbers 10, he can't keep that level going. And I think that's going to be the case for Switzerland. I think Spain will be too strong. They're 7-10 to win the game. I probably wouldn't bet it, but if I was looking for some correct scores, I think there's goals in this game. Switzerland have got goals in them. Spain have scored 5 goals in their last 2 matches, and they conceded 3 as well. So I think both teams will score. And if we look at some correct score bets, maybe Spain 2-1, Spain 3-1. But I think it'll be an entertaining game. And I think Spain just have the quality to get through. The Swiss are going to be running on adrenaline. I mean, they play extra time. They've gone through a penalty shootout, knock out the world champions. The media attention is going to be on more than it ever has been. And I think that to play Spain so quickly after that game is a negative rather than a positive. I think Spain will win fairly comfortably.
Right, we move on then to a very, very interesting game for me. Belgium versus Italy. What is your thoughts here? I know Italy started off really, they looked the part. And I suppose they are probably the logical way the punter will sway. But I don't know, I have a feeling Belgium could cause a little bit of problems here. What are you thinking on this?
I think they would do it. I think I can make the case for them if they were at full strength. But they're not going to be. Kevin de Bruyne doesn't play, nor does Eden Hazard. I mean, that's
massive. It's massive.
Huge for any team. For Belgium to take those two players out of the side and going up against the Italians, that's hard. The other thing for Italy is Chiellini's back in defence. Bonucci and Chiellini should partner each other, and they haven't conceded a goal in their last 12 internationals. That's phenomenal, really, when you think about it. Not even conceded. I think they've got the best goalkeeper in the tournament as well. He hasn't been tested yet. Defensively, they're strong. They did concede against Austria, but it wasn't in 90 minutes. It was a 0-0 draw. So in 90 minutes, they haven't conceded a goal in the last 12. I think that this is a low-scoring match. I really do. I think Belgium will go here without De Bruyne and without Hazard to try to contain the Italians and say to the Italians, right, you break us down. I think Belgium are a little bit aside that people think they're going to be involved in lots of high-scoring games, 3-3s, 2-4-2s, all this kind of stuff. They are in qualifying, but they know how to turn it around in business end. I think defensively they're right. The goalkeeper's quality as well. And against an Italian side that just doesn't concede goals, I think under 2.5 goals here is a real lively contender. Even under 2 goals, even under 1.5 goals. And I also think 0-0 is a lively contender in this match. I think both teams will be quite nervy because they'll know that if they win this, they've got a good chance of getting into a final. And I don't think you're going to see a classic. You know, I think it's going to be very, very close. Nothing much given away. And small bet on no goal scorer for me. But my main bet would be under 2 goals. If it's 2 goals, you get your money back. It's a push. And that's about just about 11-10 with Bet365. I like that, under 2 goals.
Under 2 goals for the Belgium versus Italy. Right, we'll move on to Saturday. Czech versus Denmark. I think it's a 5 o'clock kickoff again, yeah. Czech, the outsiders here, but Denmark aside, I'm sure you'll be cheering on as of the big anti-post prices you were lucky enough to get. A lot shorter now. Yeah,
they're down to 10-1. Best price 10-1. I'm on at 80s, 66s. But the trouble is the winner plays England if England wins. So it's going to be a very difficult decision to cheer for me. But I think if this game was being played in Copenhagen, in Denmark would win easy because the crowd there is fantastic. And at home, I think they're formidable against anybody. Denmark have scored 4 goals in their last 2 matches. You know, Wales 4-0, 4-1 against Russia as well. And the Czechs, despite having a goal scorer in 𝗪, I think they're an average side. Midfield, they're workmen, they're in your face, they're hustle and they're bustle, but they don't really have much flair. But again, I feel this could be quite low scoring. I think Denmark will have enough quality to win it, but they're also a team that's decimated by injuries. Poulsen, their centre forward, is a doubt. We obviously know 𝐿 doesn't play. You can probably get away with him not playing in the group stages, you know. But when you go up against the bigger teams in knockout football, you want your best player, and unfortunately, he's not. He can't play, and he won't, probably never play again in international football. But I think Denmark will have enough quality to win this game. But I don't think it's going to be like 4-5. I think it's going to be 1-0 Denmark. Low scoring again. I think that's going to be the common theme for me in these last, probably in the semi-finals as well. Low scoring, nerves. And when we talk about teams like Czech Republic, Ukraine, Switzerland, they would never have thought that they would be in their chance again as a semi-final of the Euro 2020. So they're not going to go there and try to take the game to Spain and Denmark. They're going to go there to try to contain them. And I feel that under 2.5 goals, under 2 goals again here with the push at 2, is again 11-10 with Bet365 is the bet for me.
Yeah, definitely interesting. And then we will move on to the big one for ye, Ukraine. I suppose, look, Ukraine have surprised a lot of people as well, I think, this tournament. For me personally, I don't know, I see England getting through it with the minimum of fuss after their last performance, to be honest.
Again, I think it goes back to the point I made about Switzerland. I think that England will be on such a high, the nation's on such a high. If this game was played at Wembley, I think England were 2-0 up before we even kick a ball because the atmosphere there was just one worth a goal in itself. But to go to Rome is not ideal because, there's no England fans allowed in there, no travelling fans allowed to go. There will be some Italian based English people based in Italy will go to the match. But I think that's a big negative. I think England would much prefer to be playing at Wembley than going to Rome. The Ukrainians put a perfect opposition though for me, because they were out on their feet against Sweden, and they went to extra time all the way to the last kick of the game. They scored, but there was injuries, there was tackles, there was people like, you know, they're going to feel it, you know, and they paid the extra pressure, an extra part of your legs that compared to England. And I think England will have enough quality, Paddy. I mean, they'll probably go quite tight. They'll probably go Phillips and Rice again, holding midfield. And then if they need to take the players off the bench, they bring on Jack Grealish, who could just change the game on its head in 2 minutes. They haven't even used Sancho yet. They haven't even used Rashford, really. And I think England will win. And I know they're 2-5, which is not going to be a price that's going to attract anybody or, you know, to tempt anybody in. But England to win to 0 is even 11-10. I think that's a cracking bet. I can't see the Ukraine scoring. England haven't conceded in this tournament, and they haven't really looked like conceding. I mean, Muller went through but put the ball wide. But I think England's goalkeeper Pickford's been their best player, and I think they look strong defensively with Harry Maguire back in the team as well. So I'm going to go for England to win to 0 as the bet. Yeah,
just a quick mention on the keeper, because talk about rising to an occasion. Like England's keeper, he stepped up, didn't he? He really did. Like. And through the years, like England has been lucky to have some really, really solid keepers, to be honest. Right, let's then, I suppose, leave it there. But the big one for me, I think England, I think they will get it done with the minimum of fuss. I thought Sweden were so unlucky the other night. I thought they hit the post and hit the crossbar. Did they really? I thought they were maybe a team that should be here that's not. But anyway, that's all for now. Seeley, thanks a million for all the best bets. Thanks for going down to Wembley and sampling all the highlight and the what do they call it? The fine wines and whatever you were drinking them.
Still waiting for the expenses to be paid.
You don't worry about that. Your expenses is in the post. I have a little bird heading across there. You know, one of them, the race pigeons. They'll drop it off. Listen, we appreciate it here at Cold Bear Sports. As always, this is our expert analysis on the footy, because if I'm truth be told, I don't know nothing about it, right? Good man, Nige. Thanks.
Take care, mate.